the soul. It
It
really
does.
does lift the soul, doesn't it?
Even if you can't sing, and I don't, but
You
singing is
know,
a
it doesn't
great
matter,
way.
does it?
Doesn't matter. Brings it right home.
Yeah. An article in the BBC, the Science Focus, studies show how people sort of coping with Parkinson's can learn to walk more easily with rhythms assisting their gait, like when they're having therapy. And other research suggests autistic children find sort of more social interactions. They become easier when accompanied by music, and that less anesthetic is required when music is played to spinal surgery patients. Wow. And astoundingly, I could go on and on, premature babies gain weight quicker when they can hear music. Can you talk about the evolutionary significance of the impact of music on the brain and how it can be employed as a therapeutic intervention?
You know, I can talk about the effects of that, but the science is just fascinating and very deep. Probably goes way over the heads of everybody who's interested in this. But the effects are out there. They're measured. And you're right. There's a study done. Half of or people listening to music needed half the pain medication of people who weren't.
Right.
And that's like, wow, especially in the face of the opioid crisis. And we all know about music and stress, and they've measured that. So Parkinson's, wow, put on music that makes you want to dance, and your feet just move to the beat. In spite of all of the comedy that we get out of movies like The Jerk, where the poor white guy can't find the beat. Well, eventually he does.
Yes.
And we're laid out, we're built that way. We're just built to resonate for that. So Parkinson's people can move to music in ways that they wouldn't be able to move without it, and they move with ease. It doesn't take any thought. You mentioned so many amazing things there. Premature babies gaining weight. Music is fundamental to who we are, and I think the older we get, especially in America, the less we become aware of how music and the arts mind us and support us and sustain us. And now we're at a place where we can start to put music together with practices that we want, like kindness and empathy and compassion, and use music to help enliven those things and unwind from the cultural learning that we've had that says, oh yeah, music, that's good for entertainment, but I know it's powerful, but it doesn't apply in this business situation. Oh, no, it does. It definitely does.
Yes.
And, of course, in so many of the physical opportunities that exist for people to use it therapeutically, in recovery, as a tool to advance, like music and memory is a great thing. You can memorize things to music and keep them in your memory much longer than if you didn't use music to do that. So all of this stuff is out there, and the science is fascinating. But you asked me about the cultural effects.
Mm-hmm.
This is one that's really intriguing to me because a lot of the music that I love has been created by Black American, either jazz, ragtime, or whatever composers. There's even some classical composers that have done this. And a friend of mine who knows that I love ragtime sent me 2 versions of that amazing song. I Wish I Was in Dixie. You remember that song?
Oh, that was a great song.
Yeah, and it's, it was written in the North, but it was sort of co-opted by the South. Right. And he sent me these 2 versions. One of them was a northern version, played close to authentically, we assume, and one of them is a southern version, played close to authentically. And I'll tell you what, I'd rather hear the southern version. It's got more life. It's got more, there's more emotion in it. I mean, the words are terrible. It's a racist song. But when you hear it done, the southern version just has an energy about it that's positive. There's no other way to say that. And the northern version is kind of, wah, wah, wish I wasn't 6. It's like,
yeah.
and they're both equally racist and they're both equally tragic in that sense.
Right.
But I think, and this is just my guess, but I think that the South was so influenced by the culture of Africa that was part of the South, that it also changed the music and it changed the environment. It just changed the energy that's in the South.
And it changed music all over the world because you look at bands like the Rolling Stones.
Sure.
Weren't they influenced?
The Stones, the Beatles, there's pop music is basically the music that's closest to our hearts in the biggest sense. Like the most people listen to pop music, so it's popular. But there's something that we can learn from that, and that is a really good thing to know. Whether it's Scott Joplin or Billie Eilish, there's a message in there that's reaching people and sustaining them. And even in our modern day hip hop culture is amazing how it's been able to offer people alternatives to acting out on anger, alternatives to acting out on fear. It's in the music. You can feel it. And if you can feel it, you don't have to do it.
That's exactly right. Right. I mean, I have to say that I'm one, I love classical music. I love the music that makes me feel good. And as you talked about, sort of having that music that's sort of, a little bit more raw, perhaps.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah.
Right. That, people listen to, and I kind of roll my eyes, say, I can't believe you're listening to that. But, and I walk away and put on my nice calm music. But there are so many different styles of music, and we have so much to choose from. We're so fortunate. We're so fortunate, and so many amazing artists out there who are probably unaware sometimes of how their music is affecting people. I mean, a good way too.
Yes.
How do you prepare yourself for your day?
Well, I know you'd like me to say something like I go and play music or whatever.
But you don't.
No, you know what? The best way I've found to prepare for my day is to wake up and see what the day has in store. And often that's not what I expect.
Right.
So I love the idea of waking up every day surprised, and a little curious, and ready to meet that with whatever it brings to me. Isn't that, I mean, there are practices and things, but I don't wake up and meditate. I don't wake up and play the piano. I mean, there are times where I wish I could wake up every morning and play for an hour.
Yes.
Right?
Right.
But I have the music. It'll mind me. And whether or not I get to put my hands on the piano is inconsequential to the fact that the music is there for me.
Yeah.
And I can use it.
Do you play other instruments other than the piano?
I love hand drums. We have them in the family, and we drum together, which is great, by the way, for building interconnectedness in the family. I have in the past played the saxophone and the timpani. I was a percussionist in high school in the orchestra, and I had to do that because it was the only way that they could take me on tour and also play a piano concerto. So I've had great fun.
You get to bang the cymbals at the end,
Bang the cymbals,
the kid
yep.
that bangs the cymbals. My other question for you, does your choice of music change with a favorite form of physical exercise?
Oh, sure. With all kinds of different things. There'll be some times where if I need support in a long-term sustained physical effort, I'll choose music that's different than if I just need a burst of physical energy. So yeah, it does. And that's something I think that's important. Throughout my life, I've noticed how my music changes too. I have, preferences that were one way as a teenager, and now they're different. And I still love the music, but I love collecting new music, and listening to new things and finding out how they work on me. And I think that endeavor is more important than sort of hanging on to the old stuff. Right. But we all have our unrequited love song from high school, right? So,
of course we do.
And I still love that music, even though I've done the work to release the charge from it.
Right.
I still love the song,
Yes. It's the song that comes on over the radio in the car or the Bluetooth, and then all of a sudden you just have to stop the car and sort of sway back and forth in your seat, right?
Yeah. Or cry a little.
Oh, cry a little. That's it too. So Bill, what's your next adventure? What's the next thing coming up for you?
Wow.
You have a lot of things coming up. I have
a lot of things coming up.
Yeah.
I love this advocacy work. It's really important right now. People's idea of self-care is that, if you're getting your nails done or going to a spa, you're caring for yourself, and you are, and that's fine. But I'm talking about self-care that is just you, like you and a music player. That's powerful self-care. So my advocacy work is headed in that direction. We have to re-educate people to what it really means to care for yourself well.
Yes.
And then I think along with that, also advocate for people who are in the caring professions or the helping professions, the teaching professions, or the self-care professions, maybe self-help, to include music tools. The interesting science on this is that medical professionals who use music, as opposed to music therapists, got better results in their practices than the music therapists did.
Oh my gosh, isn't that incredible? That's incredible.
It's just there. Use it. Let's advocate for that. So that's a big part of what I do.
Yeah.
And then, of course, transitioning from this volunteer-based music work that I've done with at-risk populations into more sustainable working with those of us who are leaders in the world who want to help change those that they're leading. Music is a powerful tool for that.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it's, sustainable, whatever. And that bleeds over into compassion and working with, I don't know if it's going to go this far, but working to release the anger that's in the world today.
Yeah, absolutely.
We got to do that. It's necessary.
Yeah, we've got a lot of love and we've got a lot of anger. We have to, the contrast is so great these days, isn't it?
It is. And music is a great bridge.
It really is. Absolutely. Bill, it has been amazing to have you on the show today. We have run out of time. Thank you for taking the time out of your busy day today to be with us on Yin Yoga Lifestyle. And if listeners would like more information about Bill Protzmann, you can visit Quest, QUEST.MUSICCARE.net or visit musiccare.net or on Facebook at Bill Protzmann, actually Bill-Protzmann, BILL-PROTZMANN, or on Twitter, I should say, Bill Protzmann. Many thanks again for being here, Bill, on Yin Yoga Lifestyle. We have enjoyed your company so much today.
Thank you, Colette. Thank you so much.
And please don't forget to check us out at yinyogalifestyle.com, adding enlightenment, calm, balance, and creativity to your everyday life. Thank you for joining Yin Yoga Lifestyle. I am your host, Colette Darville. Join us next time to continue our journey of balancing into a state of perfect harmony. Until then, this is Colette Darville, reminding you to inhale, so, and exhale, hum.